All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on these subtle, often totally invisible forces that shape our decisions, our actions, and yeah, even who we're attracted to. We're talking about the art and science of influence, this hidden game that connects the most unlikely people and situations you could imagine.
So I know, it sounds like the setup to a really weird joke, right? But the answer to this question, it's the entire point of what we're talking about today. Each one of them, the magician, the star athlete, the person trying to make a connection on a first date, is a master of a hidden game. And it's a game that's not played with cards or a basketball, but in the minds of other people. Stick with me, and you'll see exactly how all these threads connect. So, let's start with the magician, or to be more precise, a psychological illusionist like Darren Brown. As this quote gets at, his performances aren't just about quick hands and trickery. Nope, they're built on a really deep understanding of psychology, of showmanship, and suggestion. The real trick, the real magic, isn't happening on the stage. It's happening inside your head.
At the very heart of all of this is a concept you've probably heard of: misdirection. Now, on the surface, it's just, look over here while I do something over there. But it's so much deeper than that. It's about strategically guiding someone's attention, their thoughts, and even their assumptions. And, as we're about to see, this principle pops up way beyond a magic show.
This right here, this is the illusionist's toolbox. It kind of demystifies the whole thing, doesn't it? Brown's magic is really just this powerful cocktail of psychological techniques. He uses suggestion to plant ideas in your head, called reading to make it seem like he knows things about you, and even something called perception without awareness, which is basically a subtle way to influence you without you even knowing it's happening. So it's not supernatural at all. It's a masterful application of cognitive science.
Okay, so how in the world does this world of mental tricks and illusion connect to something like elite sports? Well, let's switch gears and head over to the basketball court, because the very same principles are at play, just in a much, much faster and more physical arena.
And here is where it gets really cool. This slide just lays it all out. Think about it. Where an illusionist uses suggestion to influence a mental choice, an athlete like Michael Jordan used motor priming to influence a physical reaction. Where the illusionist uses words to misdirect, Jordan used feints. And where the illusionist reads tiny cues to seem psychic, Jordan read a defender's hesitation to know exactly what they were going to do next. They're both masters of controlling the moment.
So that brings us to this term, motor priming. Michael Jordan's famous fadeaway jumper wasn't just some incredible athletic feat, it was a psychological one. Every little hesitation, every turn, every feint, it was all part of a perfectly timed rhythm. And that rhythm was designed to prime the defender's nervous system, basically forcing them to react in a way he could predict. He wasn't just out-jumping them, he was out-thinking them in a split second.
What we see as spontaneous genius is almost always the result of thousands and thousands of hours of practice, until a super complex move just becomes automatic. That's mastery. Jordan didn't have to think about the move, he just ran the program. It's influence that's become so smooth, so repeatable, that it's basically unstoppable. So, we've seen how influence works on a stage and on a basketball court, shaping actions that we can physically see. But what about influencing things we can't see, like our own thoughts and feelings? Let's dive into the invisible space of the mind, which is where influence starts to get really personal.
Really think about this for a second. Have you ever felt that creepy, uncomfortable feeling just by imagining someone standing way too close to you? That feeling is 100% real, even if the person is completely imaginary. This gets at a really fascinating idea about how our brains handle space.
And yeah, that feeling actually has a name. It's called cognitive proxemics. It's basically the study of how we create and use space inside our own heads. Our brain uses this imagined distance to regulate our emotions, to make us feel safe, or to help us feel connected to someone. It's this powerful internal system of influence that's running all the time. So how does your brain pull this off? Well, first, a part of your brain called the hippocampus creates a kind of map of the environment around you. Then, other parts of the brain translate that map into a first-person view, putting you right in the middle of the scene. And finally, your brain just simulates the interaction. And here's the kicker, your brain doesn't really draw a big line between what's real and what's imagined. An imagined threat can feel just as real as a physical one. This is how we can be influenced without anyone ever laying a hand on us. And this brings us right back to our original question in that first date. If our minds can be influenced in such subtle ways, how does this play out in the most personal area of all, our relationships? Where exactly is the line between building genuine attraction and just straight up manipulation? Okay, this is a really important one.
This gives us a super clear way to tell the difference between genuine interest and a manipulative tactic called love bombing. Just look at the key differences. Love bombing is all about control. It's intense, it's demanding, and its goal is to make you dependent on the other person. Genuine interest, that's about connection. It grows over time, it nurtures the bond, and it's sincere. The things to watch for are always the pacing, the focus, and the intent.
But let's be real, it's not always so black and white, is it? Influence really exists on a spectrum. What about something like, say, reverse psychology? Are you just giving someone a gentle nudge to help them make their own choice? Or are you actually shoving them in the direction you want them to go?
This really shows how the exact same technique can have two totally different faces, you know? Used ethically, influence can be incredibly empowering. It can help someone reflect and grow. But when that same technique is twisted to take advantage of someone's vulnerabilities for your own gain, well, that's when it crosses a serious line into exploitation.
So, this leads us to what might be the most important part of this whole discussion. How do we navigate this unseen game ethically? How do we develop our own moral compass for both using and responding to influence in our lives?
This slide gives us a really powerful and simple tool, an ethical litmus test. We just have to ask ourselves 3 questions. First, what's the intent? Is the goal here to help or to control? Second, is there transparency? Is the influence out in the open, or is it hidden in a way that keeps the other person in the dark? And third, and this is a big one, does it respect their autonomy, their freedom to make their own informed choices? Ultimately, it really does all come down to this. Influence itself isn't good or bad. It's just a tool. It can be used to build people up, or it can be used to break them down. The only things that matter are the awareness and the intent of the person using it. Are they conscious of what they're doing? And is their goal to help or to control? And that brings us to our final question, one I want you to take with you. From the checkout line at the grocery store, to a big negotiation at work, to your closest relationships, this game of influence is being played all around you, all the time. The only real question is, are you aware of it? Are you a conscious and ethical player?